Pod Chef. Pod Chef. Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They hella deep, 20 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Yo, what up? Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I am your host, Jamal. I'm here with my co-host, Reeves. Say what's up.
What's up? I'm back, babies.
Reeves is back like he never left. He's back like a spine. He's back like white lights on a car. Is your co-host here?
Say hello to the people, Rabbi.
What's up? And I did never leave.
Mm-hmm.
Truly the most back I never left. The fact that I never left. And in saying that, am I the most have left? Think about that.
Welcome back, Reeves.
Confused the hell out.
Did you miss us? Did you listen to the episode?
No. I didn't. Well, you guys talked about me, right?
Actually, no.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not at all.
Because I kind of went in with the plan that I was like, I'm not going to listen to the episode because I assumed you would gift me with some reason that I was gone. And then I thought it'd be fun if I came in and tried to like navigate not knowing any background on what that was. So I guess it wasn't talked about. So
Yeah, I don't think we talked about you very much.
Yeah.
To be fair, Reeves, I didn't listen to the episode either.
When the episode started, Jamal said, let's just blow past the fact that Reeves isn't here.
And then
That's
because
fair.
of that, that's why I didn't listen to the episode. I don't like the episodes where you're not here.
That's really nice.
So I
But
wanted
those
to
are
go
your
back.
wife's favorites, though, right, Reeves?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So she listened last week.
Yes, listenership is down.
In your household or over across
Numbers
the board?
are down.
Numbers are down, but listen, they're about to come back up, baby, because we got a nice one today.
Yeah, we got a
Yes.
great guest. Jeff Ray's back. Say what's up, Jeff.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you all start the show, you play the theme song and you listen all the way through.
Mm.
Is that something you only do when I'm the guest, or do you make all the guests listen to the theme song?
We make all the guests listen to it, and every episode has the full
Mhm.
song. For a while, we did a shortened version, and then we got one suggestion that people wanted to hear the longer version, and we've never turned back from it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought
I
it was
mean-
just like to patronize me, and I was like, I don't need that. But
No.
if people want it, that's cool.
You didn't like it? You think that they were trying to like make you look at your work like you're a dog that peed in the floor and we're like, you look at this.
Yeah, like that's what I thought. So I just wanted to check, If it's not that, then that's cool,
No, we just do this with everyone.
Nice.
No,
Um,
people
you
like it.
just-
I like to see people's genuine reactions.
Yep. A lot of people start bopping. A lot of
We're
people
not
start forgetting where they are for a second.
getting stupid,
Getting crunk.
getting
Remember that
real
word?
stupid.
Remember that word? Crunk.
Oof.
Getting crunk, getting lit.
Crunk's back like it never left.
Yep. Back like a spine.
Back like a vertebrae. Which is
So let's
fine.
have we have to do something serious at the top of the show. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh
for being
boy,
here. We actually do have to do a moment of silence.
we got
for
breaking
Padma.
news that you heard a couple days ago.
Yeah. Padma is leaving Top Chef after this season,
Which means she's
So-
left.
which means
She's
she's already
gone.
gone.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why it makes sense. You've been seeing some of these like pretty risky photos on Instagram of Padma as of late. She's out of her contract, so she can
Yeah.
post that stuff. There's no consequences. So
Bravo TV, known for its conservative values,
Puritan values.
Yeah,
Mhm,
didn't want
mhm.
her to express herself, and
Yep,
now
in
that
that
she's
way.
free, she's
She can
allowed
do what she
to
wants.
do what she wants.
And I'm happy she's empowered.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And I
it
mean, that's
usually,
how she phrased it. She was like, "I'm empowered, and also I'm free."
yeah. And so she's no longer gonna be part. So here's the question: is this an opportunity to get Kate back on the show
I think that's a great
as the
question.
host
Who is Kate?
from season 1?
Season 1.
I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't on the train then. So
Nobody was.
Nobody
So
was.
we'd love to get. I'd love to start a campaign on Twitter to get Kate back to be the host of Top Chef again.
The only person who was ever on the Kate train was, of course, Billy,
Mm-hmm.
Joel,
Mm-hmm.
her husband.
Yes. So if we could get Katie Joel back on as the host, that'd be great.
Yes,
What do you
and
think
I
she's
think
doing right now? Posting
I
anti-vax
feel like-
stuff on Twitter?
so. I've seen her on Beat Bobby Flay before. She'll
Mhm.
pop up on some things every now and again, some food related things. I think
Right.
that the angle is she's the most qualified, right?
Yeah,
She's done the job
Yeah.
before.
it's on her resume.
Did she do it well? No.
No.
She
But
was
she
terrible.
wasn't given 20 seasons to really nail it.
Yes.
Was Padma good the first season? Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. No.
No?
No.
Very natural fit.
No. I think
Yo,
Padma hit
is-
her stride in season 6.
is this Kate? Is it Katie Lee? I'm just using my computer to Google.
Yes.
Katie Lee.
That's
Yes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, she can come back.
her.
Okay.
Okay, right there. We have an approval. So let's get it going.
The snowball is falling off the top of the mountain.
People
and it's
are
picking up
talking.
speed.
People are
So-
talking.
Yeah, she's on Beat Bobby Flay, man. I rock with her.
Yeah, so it's already starting. So get out there, get on the campaign to get Katie Joe. Is
Yep,
that
that's her
name?
name.
Katie Joe.
Yeah, Katie
Yep,
Joe
Katie Joe.
Osborne. Yeah.
Katie Jo
Because it's
Armstrong.
like
Can we have a
something
moment of silence now for Padma,
unpredictable
please?
in the end is right.
So let's-
Kaylee should be the Top Chef host.
Yeah.
Because like who else is it gonna be? Blaze? You're gonna get fucking Blaze in there? We
Oh,
gotta deal with
No,
that.
you can't remove a woman and then put a man there.
That's just
Yeah.
gross.
You can't do that anymore.
You could do the opposite, and they keep doing the opposite. Can we talk about all these gender
What's
swap
the
things?
what's
Can we
the
stop
opposite? What's the
taking
opposite?
out men, put in a woman? Frickin' you see Ghostbusters? I didn't.
Yeah, I know, Brian.
Right.
I saw that post that you put out there, and I know you had reactions to Little Mermaid too, but I kept telling you it was a woman in the cartoon version as well, so it's not like a switch of a woman taking a man's part there.
No.
Brian made a post on Instagram. He said, "I'd rather eat a ghost pepper than watch this again."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then someone made me do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then he did it. And at the end, after he was coughing, he was like, "Who are you gonna call?" And he was like doing the Ghostbusters thing on the back end of him, like crying in tears of how hot the pepper was.
Got a lot of hearts. People liked it.
Yeah,
Doing
for
numbers.
for most people who were also at January 6th rally. So
That's what kind of my base. Let's have a
So
moment of-
we're gonna miss Padma.
yeah, let's
we're
do
gonna
a
miss you, Padma.
R.I.P.
let's do a
Padma.
moment of silence for
Mhm.
Padma. Let's everyone take 5 good seconds, and in that silence, let's elevate Padma with our thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and whatever that means to you. So when I hold
Okay.
5, we'll start at 20 now.
All right.
No.
5 felt short.
It
Felt-
did feel quick.
Should we do 10?
I feel like that would make it 15.
Well, let's do another 5.
Did you know she
Okay.
was married to Salman Rushdie?
Yes.
Hell yes.
Yep.
That is
Crazy.
one of the most interesting things about her. Yeah.
Yeah. Weren't she talking about this yesterday? I think.
She was?
No, me and Jeff. I think what I heard was that one of the issues was he was too horny. He didn't get the surgery.
Oh, that might have been it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was telling him to calm down.
You
And I mean, Brian,
got
to your point, I think she probably can never stop talking about it, because that's, when people talk to her, meet her for the first time, that's the first thing they go in,
Yeah.
and ask is like, how is Rushdie in the sack? What's he working with?
All right, let's take another 5 seconds.
I said 5. It's at 20 now.
Mhm.
All right.
That one felt longer. That one felt longer.
That one
That
felt
10 seconds
appropriate.
collectively was for Padma leaving the show. We'll miss you. I'm going to miss the backstage access passes that she used to give us to live Top Chef events, and the funny text messages she'd send about Tom on set. What are you guys going to miss?
Yeah, I'm going to miss, when we would go on set with her, how she would, we would meet her at the door, and we would, walk in through the restaurant, and she kind of would know everyone and wave, and then we kind of, walk through, and a couple things, people would be going by, and then she would, point us to our table, and we'd sit down. It was just, very familiar, very nice.
Yeah. Brian, what are you going to miss?
I'm going to miss when we would show up to any place, really, and we'd be at the door, and some tattooed behemoth would be hand in our face, you're not getting in, and Padma would walk up and she would say, hold on, Bruno. It's always Bruno or something like that. And she would say,
she
these
said,
guys
hold
are
on,
with me.
Bruno Mars.
She would,
Bruno
she
Mars.
would say, hold on. And that actually what she was doing was she was emasculating him, because he was a huge man. Bruno Mars, very small man. So she was trying to make him feel really asserting her dominance. She would say, they're with me. And he'd tuck his tail. Bruno would tuck his tail.
Well, she'd say the other thing she'd say. She's like, so if they can't come in, I guess I should leave too. And Bruno's like, well, I don't want you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even though the cameras make him look a certain way, Bruno Mars is actually 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. I heard that cameras can make you lose a foot.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's diabetes.
Yeah. And you know what? If you have diabetes and you're on camera, it's like you're a whole different person then. Camera can't even capture you.
Unrecognizable.
So we're going to miss Padma.
Padma.
Jeff,
an
you miss
end of an
anything?
era.
You miss about Padma? You've been on the show 2 times this season.
Yeah, I mean, me and Tom, we go back. So I'm gonna miss the Padma's really good at chicken nuggets. And I'm gonna miss the special chicken nugget recipe she would always bring to the set and share with everybody. So
she would always come and say, who wants chicken nugs?
She had the best sauces too.
Yeah.
She'd have sauces from every fast food place.
Yeah. The good ones from everywhere. And she would just kind of not even have it in the package. She'd just kind of have it dolloped out.
It's loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she would walk over to me with a serving of 6 and say, I know you're a dry boy. So here are your dry nuggets. Here are your dry nugs.
She wouldn't let sauce even near you.
No.
And I mean, I'm so glad that you had the surgery after she would say that to you, because it just the way
beforehand.
I mean, Padma coming up to you saying, "I know you're a dry boy,"
with 6 nugs.
Yeah,
she's holding them between her fingers.
Yeah, she's like, "You want to take these off? You can't use your hands."
And you had the surgery, so that was completely.
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, this is no problem now.
Yeah,
I can do this, no problem."
We're gonna miss you, Padma. Word on the street is Tom's gonna hire us to look for a new host. So
that's true.
Be on the lookout for that, because
so
Tom is.
Let's talk about something tangential to looking for a new host. I recently, and by recently I mean last night, at dinner, did some Googling of this here podcast, Podchef podcast.
Yes.
And you'd be stunned at what is returned in the Google search results when you Google Podchef podcast. What comes up over and over and over again is Podchef podcast, a podcast by Brian Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And it says it in big letters on multiple sites.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's also the Behavior Chef podcast. And is that something we could get involved in?
Did I do that one?
Let me see here. Did you do that one?
Well, so here's the thing, and I'll tell you why it says that. Also says Podchef Brian Jackson and books on Amazon. That's not a book.
Yeah.
It is not a book. We are intentionally not a book.
So do we need to do any rebranding?
Well, let me tell you what happened. When I monetized this podcast, which those asking so much money. Like
Uh-huh.
we, like you hear us and it sounds like we're the same people, that we're
Yeah.
not super rich and that we haven't made any money off of these ads that we ran a few times, but you'd be mistaken.
Oh my
People keep
God.
asking me how I bought property. I'm like, I have a fucking monetized podcast, you jackass.
Yeah.
Baby.
That's how.
People ask me, how do I have my 5 BMWs? And I'm like, well, 2 of them were gifts.
Yeah.
The other 3 got with my fucking podcast money, baby.
And
Yeah.
Jeff, that we cut you off a piece of that because you're our number one. So I mean, I know you're living right
Mhm.
with that
Oh
money.
yeah, I mean, I bought a plane from the residuals from the theme song. Like, you Southwest who?
I don't even
I-
know who that is.
You did
you
tell us
bought
that
one of those model Southwest planes that they sell at the airport? That's good.
Yeah. You I was a little worried at what your intention was with that plane.
I was
Yeah.
just trying to be like, I saw that Drake music video a couple years ago where he had his plane with the owl on it, and
Mhm.
I got that first podcast residual check, and I was like, well, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake's
So-
plane.
Right
I've
in a
got a-
tree.
Oh,
A plane with a mango on the side.
Yeah. That's why your plane has a mango on the side.
Yeah.
Every time I see that landing at DCA, I'm like, oh, Jeff's in town for the podcast.
Yep. I don't go to Dulles or BWI because
Nope.
no, we don't
You
do
go to
that.
K
You
Street,
just crash
land right in
landed
the
in
middle.
Mango Grove.
Yeah.
So we're
Jeff
living in
uses,
money, and so the reason that it says by Brian Jackson is because to do it, I had to change something, and I had to do a name thing, and I don't even know if I had to do it, but I did it. I can change it back, but
Well, here's the issue: is that it's
Please.
all over the algorithm now, and so I don't know how many people have now seen this and been like, "Oh, this is by Brian Jackson.
it's only on there
He's
twice.
the one who does this." Like, we didn't even get a name drop in there.
Mm-mm.
Well, you
Was
can't
there
put
a-
more than one name.
Was there a character limit in the name box?
It just says name. We put every name on there.
Yeah, comma.
Okay.
Also,
Look, it doesn't matter. When you type in Brian Jackson, all you get is this football kid from McKinney who went to USC, who everyone seems to love. And that's not me. You got a podcast?
You should invite him on this one.
yeah, and we can talk to him about how he co-opted our podcast
He's 6'1", much shorter than Bruno Mars,
and you.
210, and me. This says 240. What is it? Brian Jackson, football cornerback. That's not true. Brian Jackson, pod chef, host.
Pot Chef Billionaire.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think what would help is if everything that popped up with Podchef said like by or sanctioned by Tom Colicchio. I
Yeah,
feel like that
so
would
why
increase
didn't you put
the,
that on there?
Yeah.
I
Just
don't know.
put
I don't know
sanctioned
what I'm
by
doing.
Bravo
I don't know what
TV.
I'm doing.
Bravo TV's Pod Chef.
I've been doing this for 3 years and I don't know anything about this.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
I'm just
Yeah,
pressing
but-
buttons over here. The other day I tried to edit the podcast and I ended up ordering French fries. They're
Okay.
pretty good.
He's got malware on
They're
his
from Checkers.
editing software.
Mm.
All right. Well, I'd love to get that fixed. I'd love to get like a search result where it's like all of our names are on there, so people.
I'll
don't
see
just
what
think
I
it's a
can
one-
do.
It's a one-man show.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, great. Shall we just get on with Chefs I Prepared for You? There's gonna be a lot to discuss here.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, please.
All right. So it's time to do a segment we do every week called Chefs I Prepared for You. This is where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night, and present it as if we're presented to the judges on Top Chef. There will be a vote at the end and a winner. I will go first. Chefs I Prepared for You. It was a grilling sensation. I was at a cookout with friends,
Mm.
and I had 2 cheeseburgers. One was a baby small slider cheeseburger, a amuse bouche. Another was a big boy that had to be cooked twice because I undercooked it the first time.
Easy to
Then I
do.
had 6 hot dogs with cheese, my friends. 6. And then I had 2 donuts.
Ooh,
And then I
man.
had 2 Richmond lagers. And then 2 seltzer waters on the way home. I gained 5 pounds.
Okay. Well, are you done? Sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
So, were you cooking the burgers?
I did cook the second round of burgers at the end of the night.
Okay. And so was it you were the one that had issues with them being too rare and then having to like cook them again?
No, I just noticed that they weren't fully cooked because I put the thermometer in. I was like, oh, we're only hitting 138. We need to get this up.
You could eat
And then-
138 on a burger. People eat burger raw.
Yeah, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, Brian. This is something
Wow, what I hear.
we've tried to instill in you for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, noticed the burgers weren't ready, so put them back on the grill and let them turn into hockey pucks.
So that's what I was going to ask. Do they? I feel like I'm a fairly efficient cook, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty good on the grill, but I am not good at making hamburgers anything other than hockey pucks. Because if
Yeah,
I
so
don't do it that, like, what do you do to not make it
Did
that
you
way?
do you ever cook with a thermometer out there with you that you can
Yeah.
stick in one of the burgers?
I'll throw it in there, bad boy.
Because you usually just got to stop at like 155 and set it aside, and it'll cook up to 160. You'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
So you
should
should
like to have
stop
it
early.
rest.
Yeah, you should stop early so that the juices are going to go back inside, and those juices are piping hot, and they're going to finish cooking inside.
Were these
And then-
frozen patties or were these handmade patties?
They weren't frozen, but they were from the store
Pre-pattied.
pre-sized. Yeah.
Okay. What was your fat ratio?
I think these were 90-10, which was another problem.
90-10 on a burger?
On a burger.
This again, I bought them thinking Jamal's specific diet instead of thinking for the group. So I should have gotten some 85-15s. They would have been juicier.
I've seen more marbling
Go ahead.
freaking at a store that is sold out of marbles.
Okay.
Good
Hey,
God, more.
that's the best one you can do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that a
So
better analogy?
yeah, should have got better burgers. That's my bad. But then I also cooked hot dogs. And Jeff watched me cook hot dogs. He's a hot dog connoisseur.
Oh.
And did not know the process I was doing ahead of time, where I was cross hatching and then also seasoning the outside of the hot dogs before I put them on the grill.
What is crosshatch?
What does it sound like to you in your head?
You drew
Crosshatch.
lines on them?
Sure, I drew lines on them with a knife.
Why you do
and
that?
Then you put them on the grill and they open up, and you can kind of get a nice crisp on the hot dogs on the surface. Of
You
the hot
got to
dogs.
burn a hot dog on the
No.
grill.
Oh,
That's
you
actually
would, you would be
cancerous
sent
material.
home.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I,
actually
said, I
cancerous
like them to
material.
have a burn.
Yeah, you
You,
should.
you would like to. You must like to pack your knives and go then.
Yeah,
'Cause
I've-
that's what would happen.
I've been over
Yeah.
to a Brian barbecue. He asked
Any
me
of
if
the
I wanted
food
a
edible?
hot dog. Well, to Brian, yes.
Anything's
He
edible.
said, "Let's cook some hot dogs." He handed me a stick and he like jabbed his on the end and then like
Uh-huh.
just shoved it in a fire.
yeah.
nice.
And then he took it out and he started like biting on it. And you could just see the crumbles and ash go all over his face.
Summer. That's summer to me.
Yeah.
That's summer.
Summertime and your hot dog is burned.
Reed's in a singing mood today.
So I also tried to toast some bun. Oh, here's an issue I had. I forgot to toast the hot dog buns, which was a faux pas that Jeff will tell you about. And I also then tried to overcompensate for toasting the hamburger buns, and I burnt a bunch of them.
Did you eat? Is everything that you ate bunned? You had 2 bunned burgers, 6
Yes.
bunned hot dogs.
Yeah.
And 2 donuts. Why didn't you make a donut burger? People do that these days.
Oh.
Because I'm not a monster.
What kind of donuts were these?
These were donuts from Donut Run, so I had a apple fritter and a French toast donut.
Ooh, I love an apple fritter.
Mm.
Hardly a donut at all. But
What?
I mean, in the world of donut, apple fritter is not a donut.
Why? Because it
It's-
doesn't have a hole. It's literally
For
a
many
donut.
reasons. It's like it's a fritter,
fritter
is
is a
not
donut.
a donut. No,
A
it's
fritter
not.
is a donut.
No. A fritter
Mm.
is a pile of dough fried.
That's what a donut is. What is a filled donut then?
A ball. A filled donut is a filled
Uh.
donut. You said the word donut in it.
Yeah, just because it has the word donut doesn't mean it's different. Just because it's called fritter, it's the same thing. It's a filled donut is a pile of dough.
Yeah, but you're
Filled.
calling it a donut, so it's a
You
donut.
said-
Whereas a fritter, there's no word donut in there.
I gotta
Oh,
tell
so
you,
the
I
thing in the trunk of my car that I use when I get a flat.
Yeah, eat that.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, that's a
24
donut.
you see that? Ooh, if you roll up to Mavis, and they got that red neon light sign that says donuts, hot and ready. You pull in there, you get a dozen of those bad boys
What's Mavis?
to the dome.
It's a donut shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I've never heard of it.
Pro tip: if you get 4 donuts, you don't need to actually get real tires, and they're cheaper.
That's true. You just put them on, save yourself the lug nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just roll
what I
on
did.
donuts. Do 40 in the highway.
Get about 50 miles in them bad boys.
Just pop
know,
them and just like fly off the road.
You can get up to 80 if you do it gently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Slowly cruise up to 80 and then keep
Yeah.
her there.
45.
Lock in.
Hey, we'll be at 80 in 45 minutes.
And then for
Lock in
6
the cruise
hours.
control.
Yeah, that's all you, and you're done. The car explodes. What are Richmond loggers? Just the brand is Richmond.
Yeah, it was Brandon Richmond. They reminded me of those British lagers because in the small mouth bottle.
Like
What are
red
those?
stripes,
Red Stripes, not
Yeah.
not British, technically Jamaican, right? So
British West Indies or whatever.
yeah, British West Indies, whatever. So it was the same kind of bottle size, and yeah, they were pretty good. They went with the hot dogs and the burgers. I was
should
there
Jeff
for the
go
hot
next? Should Jeff go next? Since
I think
this
that
is
makes sense. Yeah.
dogs. Sure, go ahead, Jeff.
All right, so chefs, I had prepared for me last night. Not only Jamal's hot dog and hamburger, and actually the donuts were really good. So, if your lady at the donut shop is listening to the podcast, um, hey yo boo, you make good ass donuts. Um, but anyways, also had chili lime butter elote corn on the cob
All right.
with some Trader
Ooh.
Joe's French fries. I also had a Richmond lager, and I had a Homer Simpson donut and an Oreo cookie donut, and we had some dried mango because I'm the mango plug.
I forgot about that. I did have dried mango as well.
So
I had some
Now,
today as well.
To give the critique on Jamal's prep, I was surprised
Here
that
we
he
go.
was seasoning his hot dogs at
Here we
first
go.
because, I'm a Hebrew national guy, and those babies don't need seasoning. You just throw them on the grill, get them
Yeah.
right, eat them. But he was cutting them up and seasoning them, and he even asked for parsley at one point, in which we all had to say, "Relax, my brother."
Wait, what?
Um,
Wait, okay. What is the seasoning on this hot dog?
Well,
think
I had
it
to
was,
use what
yeah,
was
you do
there.
it.
So they had smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic, and
Use everything
garlic
they had
salt.
there.
And garlic salt. No, they had way more.
Now, all that being said, I was skeptical at first, but the hot dogs came out very good. The seasoning and the cross hatching, I'm sure, added like a really nice crispy crunch on the dogs, which really gave me like a huge just smile on my face. Um, but if I had to critique anything, it's going to be one, cold ass buns,
Mm-hmm.
and two,
Mm-hmm.
um, probably didn't need the garlic salt. Hot dogs are salty enough, so the other
Mhm.
seasoning would have achieved the crispiness on the grill. And I had 2 hot dogs. I did eat a third, but it was just like at that point, I was like, I have hypertension. Um,
Gotta do it.
so yeah, it was
Mhm.
just the salt was too much, but flavor wise, execution wise, you did a fantastic job. I will definitely eat Jamal's hot dogs again, and I'm hoping to try pizza next time. So
Oh yeah, you haven't had the pizza yet.
Did you do
Yeah.
the cheese on the hot dog? Jamal's big on cheese on hot dog.
I'm not a cheese on hot dog guy. So I ate one raw dog, no bun, just the meat. I ate one with ketchup because that's how I like my hot dogs.
Mhm.
Come at him.
And I ate one just with bun and hot dog to see, I wanted to make sure I got as much
got
of the flavor
variation.
essence that he was getting.
Before
So,
he got hypertension, he got a variation.
yeah.
Was this a hot dog party? Was this an Alice and Roman hot dog party?
Technically, it kind of was a hot dog.
Were there lots
party.
of condiments to put to your hot dog?
There were lots of condiments. I used some burger sauce or whatever on one of my hot dogs. It was very good. I also got to say, Jamal's hamburger was definitely hockey puck vibes. But Melanie, who made the first burgers, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the baby burgers.
Little
But I will
baby joints
say
were
she
on
was
point.
yeah.
And those were
And
not store bought
Yeah, she made them herself, so
pre-pattied.
I should have did
She
that.
made those patties herself. She knows what she's doing when it comes to
Yeah,
food.
Did she put
that's what I
Worcestershire
did last
sauce
time
in
I was
them?
there.
I don't even think so. I think it was just straight beef and like some salt and pepper and some cheese, and went to town on those bad boys.
I bet it wasn't 90-10. I bet that shit was like 70-30.
It was probably 70-30, might have been 60-40, and the buns were toasted to perfection. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know, one
they were
time I did
fantastic.
50. One time I did 50-80.
I did a 1090
What?
once. Couldn't wake up for like 2 weeks.
Hard to chew, I bet.
Uh,
All right, Dix, your turn.
chefs, I prepared for you asparagus feta pasta. So this is, you start with a base of like Greek yogurt, quite a few peas, some oil, garlic, blah blah blah. Puree that bad boy. That's your base. Your
Ooh,
sauce.
okay.
Then you do your pasta. Then you make a little bit, some more oil, garlic. Saute that in the pan. Throw some asparagus in there. Then you combine it all into a nice little pasta dish. Wasn't great. Wife didn't really like it. Oh yeah, and there's a lot of feta cheese you throw in there at the end. Hence the feta pasta part.
The main
feta
ingredient
couldn't
of the
save
sauce was. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. The sous chef gets so pissed because he helped make it. It was his idea.
And you just insulted him. He ran out of here so fast.
He ran out. He's gonna bite someone's head off. What was your question?
Jeff, you were saying something I couldn't talk
Oh,
about.
I was just saying that the feta couldn't save it. Because I love
No,
feta.
and so me too. And I feel like we do a lot of dishes with feta, and I never put the amount they ask for. I always put less, and it still feels like too much feta cheese. Like it's like
Oh,
feels
I always put, like,
overwhelming.
3 to 4 cups more.
Yeah, it doesn't. That doesn't help. I feel like everything I make now, because we do a lot of like Greek whatever diet kind of stuff, has feta, red pepper flakes, and like olive oil. That's kind of your base for everything, but it just doesn't really do a lot for me. It's a little flavorless.
It's the Greek Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
These
So the main
ones
ingredient of the
fetted
sauce was peas?
Peas and Greek yogurt. Yeah, so it was about a cup of peas and then 2 cups of Greek yogurt.
And that's it. That's all that was in there. Salt, pepper.
Then then garlic, oil, like 5 tablespoons of oil, and then salt, pepper.
The peas aren't doing it for me. And I get the point of using Greek yogurt because it's like better for you, but like sour cream that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get that tang. And what was the pasta you used? Spaghetti?
The little peen.
Oh, penne.
Okay. Penne.
Peen pasta.
Peen.
That's like the worst pasta.
Yeah, it just slips right out of your fingers when I try and grab it with my hand.
Exactly.
Just
needs to be
squeeze it,
bigger.
it shoots
It needs to be
everywhere.
bigger.
Yeah.
It's not big enough.
Chefs, last night I procured for
Brian.
you.
Brian, hold on
Yes.
before you go.
Yeah, okay.
Listeners of the podcast, this will be a good Easter egg for you. If you rewind 30 seconds, you'll hear me say a joke that was rightfully ignored and just moved past. But if you want to go back and listen to it, you should go back and hear the joke that I said that no one registered. So that's just for the listeners. Go ahead, Brad.
Okay.
Well,
I
that's
missed
a
it,
reason
too.
for me to listen to this episode now.
Chefs, last night I procured for you half Peruvian chicken and French fries. I went out with a friend. We went to a restaurant called E13 in Manhattan before we went to a Broadway show, and it was one of my favorite situations in the entire world when these things happen. Made a reservation for 2, 5 o'clock early because the movie starts at 7. You have to get there early. Make a reservation, show up, nobody in the fucking restaurant, not a fucking soul. And here is the conundrum. I put this to you, listeners, and to my friends here in the podcast. When that happens, do you A, go up to the server and say, hey, I have a reservation for 2 in the empty restaurant? Or B, just sit the fuck down and don't talk about it?
Well, I've actually had this happen. I went to a Italian restaurant in London, bruv. And the restaurant was just me and the lady I was there with. And it was actually better because they were focused on making our food.
But you walked in and said, "I have a
I
reservation."
have a reservation for 2, and they're like, right this way.
Okay.
And they took us to our table in the middle of the dining area.
You could see that it was empty.
Oh, it was. I mean, you could hear that it was empty. Like
Okay.
you when you walk in and it's empty, you hear everything that's
Yeah.
happening in the kitchen. And
know.
so, no one was there, and the lights kind of seemed like they were still off. But it was a nice restaurant, and it's just we got there. I guess we were the first table. By the time we left, like 4 other tables showed up, but
Okay.
for a long time it was just us. But you just go in, you sit down. I wouldn't say we didn't say anything. We didn't say, why is no one here?
No, but you did say you did announce you had a reservation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I'm in that situation, I go up, I say a reservation, they sit us down, and then after 5 minutes, I ask to be moved because it's too loud. I'd say I like to sit at the bar, please.
Why do I keep giving real answers? Fuck's wrong with you?
Oh,
I think it's
well,
probably needed.
if I can jump off of what Jamal was saying, since he was
Please save it.
talking about his date in London, and about being the chefs being focused on the food. When I was in France earlier this year, we did a food tour, and the old French guy that was taking us around town was saying that in France, people like to go to places as soon as they open, especially for like dinner and stuff like that, because the logic is that's when the kitchen is fresh. So like
Has everything.
everyone's up and they're ready to go. It's like the first quarter of like a basketball game, so they're gonna be putting some energy in.
Yeah.
And I was real into that because if you go to other countries where people are like, oh, we show up for dinner at like 11 p.m. It's like I don't want to show up when the chef is tired. And,
Yeah, the B squad's up there.
Yeah, or the D squad. I don't got time for
Ugh.
that. So
I hate going to a restaurant and the D squad's there. I'm like, I'm not throwing them my dollars.
I want the flu game Jordan chef back there.
Mm-hmm.
I
I want
wanted to
all my
be-
chefs to be sick. When
I
they
wanted to
cook
be
for me.
30 minutes before close, and at this point they're just running on heart. Like they
Yeah.
got nothing.
Yeah.
They just gotta
You
get
get
it
your
done.
final dish, and you look up at the chef, and he's just like throwing his fist like this, like punching the air.
they're making your roux with saliva and sweat.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what I
totally.
love. So my answer was shut the fuck down. Don't mention the reservation at all because it's embarrassing. Hi, I have a reservation for 2. They just show you the restaurant.
Well, you still
That's
have a
what they should
reservation,
do.
though.
That's
No,
They should
it's
walk you
embarrassing.
around.
You feel like a fool.
I didn't feel like a fool.
I would. All right, so that's what I had. It was
I
good. Then we
think-
saw.
It's
Did the
they're a
host-
fool if they look through and they're like, hold on, let me see if we have your reservation. What was your name again? I'm not seeing it here. Would you like to sit down and wait until we have a seat available?
All the tables at the restaurant I went to all said reserved, so I was scared.
Well, people do reservations in other countries. It's like a thing. But this was 5:00, and by the time we were done, no one else was sitting there.
Wow.
Yikes.
Food's pretty good though.
And this was an Applebee's.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think people walked in, saw you probably wearing that hat and those camo shorts you love, and they're like, let's go somewhere else?
I was wearing camo shorts. I was not wearing this hat.
Okay.
And a different hat on. It's brown.
They got worried. Like an improv
They're
show
like,
is gonna
I
happen.
don't think
at
this
some
is
point.
the
Let's
right
get out of here.
All right, let's vote. We're at 40 minutes.
All right. I'm gonna vote for. I know I'm not supposed to vote for myself, but I did make Jeff's meal. I'm gonna vote for Jeff.
Okay, I'm gonna vote for Jeff too. Even though he didn't make anything, he just ate what Jamal made. I like how he talked about it.
I'm gonna vote for Jeff.
All right. So that's proof
wait.
positive.
Jeff gets to vote.
Yeah,
Oh right. I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
I'm voting for Brian.
Thank you.
Brian gets a lot of votes.
He gets a lot of
Runoff.
pity
I know.
votes. Yeah, he gets
These
a
I
lot
aren't
like
of
pity
votes.
Applebee's,
votes.
man. What can I say?
These aren't
Jeez.
pity votes.
He gets those Ross Perot votes.
This is second best.
Yeah.
I'm
All
the
right,
safe vote. When you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, you vote for me.
Yeah, but we all know that it actually does hurt your feelings that you didn't get more votes. So Jeff won. I kind of won too because I made a lot of the food, and I guess this goes to show that you should have your hot dogs with cold buns because you'll still win.
Oh, I
I
thought you were
could
going to tie
have
it into the name of
bet.
the episode.
I could have bet my house that you were gonna say we're both
Nope.
champions in Paris.
Yeah, I also was waiting for Champions in Paris.
No, why would I do that? Is
Or
that the name of
something
the
else
title
in
of the
Paris. You
episode?
know what I'm saying?
That's what I thought you were gonna do too. I thought you were gonna do that because you said Jeff and I. I thought you were gonna do like some like.
Well, no, I don't. I mean, I don't have a segue for the name of the episode.
Jeff
didn't-
did it.
Jeff did it. Jeff, do you want to do it then?
I actually haven't seen the episode, so
Okay. Now we are champions in Paris.
Pawn Shop.
All right, welcome back to Pod Chef, episode Top Chef season 20, episode 13, Champions in Paris. Can we talk about the coat that Padma is wearing?
Mm-hmm.
Is it real fur?
She feels like the type of person that would not
That's
Where?
the exact same thing I said.
real fur.
And then
Yes,
I was
but it
looking
looked
at it,
real.
and the weather and the wind and the rain was
And
not moving
Paris.
it.
she's
wasn't-
wearing real fur, man. They're
Yeah,
already eating
that-
ducks and cats and dogs
Yeah.
and shit on the show. She's wearing real fur. She doesn't give
Yeah.
a fuck about
I
animals.
thought
Yeah.
that too, but she's so liberal,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
but
get
she's-
eating
she's
it,
not
but
liberal.
wearing it.
She's not liberal in her fashion sense.
Maybe eating
I
like
had the same
baby
thought.
animals like every episode.
Yeah,
They do eat a lot of baby
They
animals.
do.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about fur, man.
So she had an ox coat that she was
It was
wearing.
it was so surprising to me, for real.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
okay, great. So Padma was dressed like the Night's Watch.
Uh-huh.
The whole quick fire to me felt like an excuse to how do we make this hard for Gabri.
Oh,
Um,
hey. That's
you
what
wanna
I
say
like
what
to
it is?
hear.
All right. The quickfire challenge. The chefs were flown to Paris for the final rounds of the competition. They had to cook a dish while simultaneously giving instructions to a mystery partner hidden behind a partition on how to cook the same exact dish. The contestants were judged based on how closely both dishes resembled each other in terms of taste and presentation. Ali was paired with Paralympic swimmer Mallory Wegman. Buddha was paired with Paralympic track and field athlete Hunter Woodhall. Gabri was paired with Olympic gymnast Suni Lee. And Sarah was paired with Olympic hurdler and sprinter Sydney McLaughlin Levron. The winner received $10,000 gift card from Delta Airlines. That won't buy you one flight.
The
guest
guy Buddha was paired with knew nothing. He
Nothing.
didn't know what a leek was. He didn't
Nope.
know what parsley was. He didn't know
Nope.
what thyme was.
People don't know the kitchen.
Yeah.
Some
Pretty
of those spices look the same.
Yeah, people don't know the kitchen.
A lot of them look pretty similar.
I mean, leeks and celery they look the same to me.
Yeah, you leak. I'm gonna come home. When I was in middle school, no, I was in high school. In home ec class, I was sent to the. My mom sent me to the store to buy lettuce, and I brought home cabbage. And my mom told the home ec teacher.
She told on you.
Yeah,
Your mom ratted you out.
fucking
Wow.
fucking narc.
Jeez.
She was
Never
like,
made that
"Is that
mistake
teaching
again,
him?"
though.
No, burned it in my brain. I like
There's a-
this. I like this challenge. I don't like that with with people that they didn't know. I don't. That kind of takes away some of the fun in it.
I like
Yeah.
that they closed down the Eiffel Tower gardens or like the promenade for them to do this.
Well, it was easy because it eventually fucking stormed its ass.
Yep.
Yeah, it
off.
started raining. No one wanted to be there anyway. I mean, it's one of these forced, like, because of NBC and all this, they like to integrate a lot with like the Olympics and
Yeah.
promote the Olympics. Everyone watches the Olympics. I don't know why they need to promote it. But it's more fun when it's someone they know, or
Yes.
there's some connection to the season, because they've done it before where it's like a family member or whatever, which they usually figure out. But that's like fun. That's like part of the fun. So, but I mean, I get why they probably couldn't have coordinated that. I like that they didn't use, so like part of the problem with Gabri and his, like, I think it was Soonli is who he had as his other person on the other side of the wall. Like, she couldn't understand anything he was saying, but I like that they finally didn't use subtitles for him in that moment, just to kind of highlight that it was like her fault that she couldn't understand what he was saying. It was pretty clear.
That was really funny how mad he got at her.
Yeah.
So very funny. You could just
There-
see the absolute just boiling frustration on his face and in his voice, and it was amazing.
At one point, didn't he just like look at the camera, like directly at the camera?
He did a
Yeah.
gym.
He did a freaking Chris Pratt
Yeah.
Um,
Mouse rat.
yeah, hell yeah.
I
We're
feel
watching
like
that
for
again now. It's great.
someone who sailed into the finals on Buddha's back, like he really doesn't
Yeah.
have the
He sailed in on the back of Buddha the turtle.
yeah. Shouldn't be looking at the camera like that at all. Like you're only here
No.
because this other dude cooked you into the final, my guy.
Yeah.
That's true. He acted like he deserved to be there.
I'm surprised Buddha didn't yell out just because the last 2 weeks of how he's been working with Gabri, like talk to the person across the partition like it was Gabri. Hey Gabri, can you get the leeks out? Can you get the rosemary out? Gabri's like, what?
Other than that, it was a pretty boring thing because they didn't have any connection with them. The
Nope.
only thing that was worth it was Gabri yelling at this young woman, just
Yeah.
really shitting on her, and her not having a good time because of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, what
I
you
will-
hope to happen in these situations is for like a massive fuck up that makes it disgusting. And like
Mhm.
the only thing that really happened was she did like the wrong pepper or something like that and over caramelized something, which ended up being good. But what you really want is someone to like use sugar instead of salt and like Padma to eat it and be like, "Whoa! Ah! Gross." But that never happened. So it's kind of
No.
like just a real letdown.
That's why she's being removed from the show, for being honest.
Yeah, she's being
not
removed from the
giving those
show.
reactions that we want.
That and the fur coat.
Yeah, she lost half the audience.
Mhm.
Sarah
Wolf
really
coat.
fucking phoned this in. Are you serious? Pan fried, like Jamal made that fucking shit. This is
I'm
Jamal
sorry.
3 years ago.
I'm sorry. What's wrong with what she made?
It was so basic.
Yeah, basic is good cooking.
Not for Top Chef.
Yes, it is.
I think she played it. I mean, she called it out that maybe it was too basic, but she's smart because she was like, this
Mhm.
person doesn't know what they're doing. So let's just keep it simple. Let's not
Yeah.
overdo it.
That's
Yeah.
not fun TV. Make it fun for me. I'm watching TV here.
But that's good strategy. Like she's not gonna make like a some weird foam dish with some dude who's like, what's a
Yeah.
leak?
Can
Like,
you imagine? Okay, so now take the cream, put it in the foam dispenser.
yeah. She's gonna be like,
The-
grab these 2 slices of bread and then get that cheese, right? And then like
All right,
I
put
think-
mayonnaise on both sides of the bread, American cheese on there. Put chips on there. Just chips. Close it up. Cheese sandwich. Let's go.
I think these are moments that Top Chef takes itself too seriously, and it can lean more into like the nailed it kind of stuff. Because it would be funny to see the person on the other end being like giving up and just making a sandwich for themselves, or like eating the ingredients as they go along. Like that'd be fun.
They should have them purposely like have them have to do that for someone, but have the person intentionally be bad, like very, like just fuck with them.
I like I like that. I like it if it was just some random person and they're just really hungry. Like they're so
Can I eat
hungry.
this? How much is
And,
gonna have?
and they just like, but they're told they can't eat any of the food, and it's just like they're so frustrated.
or flip it around and have the Olympians try and describe and give the chefs directions.
Oh.
And this is why we need writers, you know? This is why the writer strike should be ended, because you need the writers. This is proof.
So who's the winner of this whole thing?
Ali wins the quickfire, and too bad there's no immunity. But then Padma explains the special ingredient for the elimination challenge. Play the clip.
We also know it as the simple button mushroom. But the cultivation of this mushroom dates back to the 1700s, when they were found growing on horse manure in the Paris catacombs.
I want to taste that.
What did she say at the end?
I want to taste them.
Gabri
taste
said that he would like to taste them.
I don't have to taste that.
Taste
Very,
mushrooms growing on shit. Yeah. All right.
yeah. It's the editors having a little fun there, making it look like Gabri wants to eat some poo poo. He's very excited to eat a little duty.
So then they go to the mushroom cave.
Mm-hmm.
Which
And
was
Gabri-
cool to go into, and then when they got to the mushroom room, it wasn't as cool.
What do you
'cause-
think was going to be in there?
Wrong kind of mushrooms, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm looking for Toadstool in there, Princess in here,
I would've
Chris
made a
Pratt,
fool-
Mario.
I would have made a
Look at the
fool of
camera.
myself. There, you got it all out.
I'm done now.
Okay. Do you want to play the clip?
Which one? Same one?
Clip 2,
The
baby.
mushroom catacomb clip. Play anything.
I have no idea. It's like the beginning of a horror movie.
Yeah.
I think this way.
Where are we?
This way, Sarah.
Okay. Oh my! Don't forget me.
What
And
if
the
we
knife was,
did
of course,
forget him?
Capri getting murdered
Yeah.
by
Mhm.
Scream Mask.
Yes. And it, sounded like maybe he was being left behind in some way, took a wrong turn. But really what had happened was he was holding on to the edge of a cliff. And then someone took a knife out towards him and he just went, "Don't forget me." Like,
And did a fall. Like he's
Mhm.
off the tower and Die Hard.
Yeah. This
Sarah
is so
asked a
dumb.
great
This
question.
was so stupid.
Sarah asked a great question when they get to the mushroom room. She says, "Is there a proper way to pick a mushroom when they
And
get that
Homeboy
demo?"
was like, yeah, fucking pull that shit off with your hands, dog.
Mhm.
And
I
then
thought it was very smart.
here's the whole thing with this whole mushroom thing. What do these mushrooms grow on? Padma said it earlier.
Duty.
Poopy.
What did every one of these motherfuckers do when they picked the mushroom up?
Ate it.
Put it in their mouth.
They put that shit right to their fucking nose. They picked it up,
Yeah.
turned that some bitch sideways, and put it right up their candy nose. The part that's in the duty, they
Mhm.
put on their nose. And then Homeboy, who's the Mushroom Kingdom man,
Mhm.
Chris
Mushroom
Pratt,
King.
Mario, Toadstool,
Mhm.
Princess,
Said he likes
Really
to pluck
big.
him and eat
Jack
him.
Black, eats them raw.
Mhm.
And Brian
What?
prefers to eat his mushrooms with a condom.
I prefer to eat mine. Actually, I don't actually like mushrooms. I don't know. I also don't like eating shit, so
Brian breaks out a big old magnum. He's like, "It's mushroom night."
That's what I do.
I was trying, like, how can I spin this in some way? But this didn't work out. Yeah, they were eating duty and smelling duty. And the Frenchman, there was one guy that says, "I worked down here alone my whole life."
Yeah.
He looked very
wonder
dirty
why.
and disturbed. Yeah.
He skin was translucent,
Uh-huh.
completely blind, but that's okay. Doesn't need to see.
He kept referring to the mushrooms as precious. Like, I didn't
Yeah,
understand what that was
doing
about.
a golem. And
Gollum.
if you guys see the movie The Descent,
Yes.
it was like that.
That's what the cave looked like. Yes.
but
It was like The Descent.
but more doo-doo and mushrooms.
But more
Yes.
So
It was
here's
like
the
The
good thing,
Descent,
though.
but instead of like creepy white killers, it was duty.
But
and
here's the good
mushrooms.
thing, though, right? Here's the good thing, because while they were picking up mushrooms and putting the poopy side to their noses, they did care about everyone else. Because when they went to the grocery store, they put on their mask.
Yes. They were
And
masked
so,
up.
so the poopy stuff was just in the mask with them. It wasn't
They didn't want to
getting
get the
around 'em.
poop aerosols all over the store.
exactly,
Mm-mm.
exactly.
That's
And
nice.
that's probably
Right.
why they weren't getting good service from people there, because all the Parisians were like, "You smell like shit."
Yeah. That's why they wouldn't tell them where the breadcrumbs were.
Yeah.
Panko?
Panko. There's
Panko.
Panko. And they're like,
Panko.
no, it's
I love that
no,
they all
stink.
got treated the same way I
Stink.
did
Too
when I was
smelly.
there
Too smelly.
I'm
asking
gonna open my
questions in
door.
a grocery store.
You asked questions in a grocery store before?
Yeah, when I went to Paris and I was asking questions at the grocery store, and no one wanted to help me out, and I was like, "Can you guys just help me get the stuff I want so I get out of here?" And they're just like, "American."
What were you getting?
I was getting wine.
Well,
I was like, "Where's the wine?" And then he pointed, and egg on my face was literally right behind me. And then I was like, "Where's the cheese?" And he was like, "Next to the wine." Fucking American.
well, I
There's
feel
a
like you're
big
not
holes.
asking good questions over there.
I'm not.
man.
I'm
Like,
really
yeah.
not.
I was also in a French grocery store recently, and I treated it like an American grocery store, and I just walked around until I found what I needed.
Yeah, I should have done that. I don't know
I
why I
was
was trying to
worried.
engage with people.
I was in line, and it was like a Friday night, and there was a long line for the checkout,
Ooh.
and I was worried because I'm like, bro, I don't know any French, and this is like all
Yep.
French people.
Yep.
But I made it through, man. I didn't say anything. I just pulled out my card, and
It's good
You
for
know.
you, man. Good for
That's
you.
nice. That's
you know,
confidence.
they didn't treat me like I was dumb. I just acted like I was mute.
You know what my problem is? I walked into that grocery store and it was empty, and I said, "I have a reservation
Like an idiot.
for two," and he was like, "There's no one here. You
There's no
fucking
one
idiot. Just
here."
go shop."
Oh, please. Yeah, here's your table for your
That's basically
reservation.
That's what he did while I was shopping. He was like, "I'm an American. Oh, I don't know where the wine is." All of a sudden, he spoke perfect English.
Nailed us. That's what I say
Then,
all the time.
then on my way out, he called me fat.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that was the fucked up part.
They showed the
Just
Eiffel
that
Tower
part.
a lot in this episode, right?
They really, I think my favorite thing that they kept doing is whenever someone would say, "Oh, look at that," they show the Eiffel Tower again, and they weren't looking at it every time.
Yeah.
They
There's
made it
more
seem
to
like-
Paris than that.
Yes,
A lot
look at this
more.
thing, Eiffel Tower again. Whoa, look at that, Eiffel Tower again.
Yeah.
Whoa, Eiffel Tower. Is that a dog? Eiffel Tower.
There's
Yeah.
a dog
French
on the Eiffel
poodle.
Tower.
Eiffel Tower.
Can I say something very American?
Mm-hmm. Please.
I didn't realize
do.
that the Eiffel Tower was brown.
Didn't start that way.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was green like the Statue of Liberty. So when I saw it, I was like, ew.
No, started red, I believe, if I remember the history.
Now,
Interesting.
I think so. When you were there, was it doing the sparklies?
Yeah, I was doing the sparklies, but during the tour, walking up that bad boy, which you boys walked all the way up to the mid level, and then took the elevator the rest
Me
of the
too.
way.
Too expensive.
They tell you the history of it, and I believe it was painted red, but they switched it to brown. And Reeves, correct me if I'm wrong. They switched it to brown because they switched to continuously always painting it, so they don't have to worry about the schedule of it. And so they use that paint because it's like better for the environment, for like the environment of the metal and stuff. So it's almost always under renovation.
Yeah.
They also
never
didn't want-
stop.
They were tired of Bloods flying over to pay homage.
Yeah, because Snoop Dogg was like, "I want to go to Paris, but I can't."
Yeah. Not until
guys
they
got
paint
that.
it blue, at least.
Yeah, so he was like, "I can't." He's been to the Arch de Triomphe, but he couldn't go to the Eiffel Tower, and that bothered Snoop.
One day he'll get to go to the Bat of Bohms.
So
That's
they
where your
gotta
life
go
was
cook on a
best.
boat.
What?
They gotta
Yeah,
go
they
cook on a boat.
on a boat. Alan Ducazi's boot. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Ducazi.
Well, you said boot, so that was the wrong thing to pronounce boat.
No, that's how they pronounce it in France. Boot.
The boot.
I'm on a boot.
I love when people know someone so much and I have no idea who they are. I love that so much. Alan DeCoste. Wow, Alan DeCoste. Who the
Yeah.
fuck is this guy?
I love when he walked in when Tom was doing his small talk of the week, and he was like, "I got Alan Ducazi here," and no one believed him.
It's like, yeah, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up. You told me.
And then Gabri looks up and is like, shits himself. He's like, "Oh, you are actually here."
Yeah.
I love so much that he big timed Top Chef.
Yeah.
He let them use his
Mm.
boat. He was available. He was there,
And then he left.
and then he didn't do the dinner.
What a
Yeah.
boss.
He-
Just
That's
to
a
be like,
fucking boss ass
yeah,
move.
I'm
I
just
must-
leaving.
I
You guys
must go
enjoy, though.
now. Au revoir. I must eat
I
on
bet you
my
had
boat.
nothing to do that day, too.
Yeah,
He
what
was
could
like-
he be doing? That's
He
It
was
not.
was
like,
the
I just
middle
don't want to be
of
here.
the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was
He
like,
was
well,
somewhere
I
else
was-
on the boat watching TV.
Yeah.
He's just
Watching
still
like
on the
Hell's
boat.
Kitchen.
Yeah.
He's a big Gordon
He took that
Ramsay
whole
guy.
suit off. He went downstairs, got into his boxers, and like had chips on his chest. He's like,
What-
"All right,
What happened
back to do this
was
marathon."
is like many people who come on our show, he thought that this was Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
He was like, Top Chef, hell yeah, I'm gonna meet Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fucking stoked for this. They pulled up, he's like, yo, who the fuck are these
Yeah,
guys?
he met
it-
Tom. He's like, "Tom, where's Gordon?" That's a different show. I keep telling you that. He's like,
Oh, I'm busy.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
He came
Anthony
in. He was
Bourdain
like,
here.
of course, I've seen Top Chef. Of course.
course,
And then
of
like
course.
Tom comes out. He's like, oh no, actually, I thought I have not. I seen.
This,
Top
you
Kitchen
are
instead."
you are chopped.
Yeah.
You do chopped,
You
right?
beat Bobby Flay. He's like, I liked it. It was fine. I'm never going to watch it again though.
Buddha like acted like he was meeting a actual rock star. He put his arm around him and was like,
He
"Take a photo."
hugged him.
Yeah, take a
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah, man. He was all relaxed about it. And
You
I mean,
thought
do
he
we
was
want to
his
address
peer.
it? He did a nice DX crotch chop at his dish.
Okay, let's get there. Buddha finished, his timer went off, and he told the camera to suck it.
Suck it.
Mhm.
And
can
I
you
think
do that?
I
You
think
can't do that.
what you're not supposed to do that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I think we
Was it
have
like-
no. I mean, no. Listen, we have
I got
to do
detention when I did that last.
this. Me too.
Did he do it with like the X-Pac with like the?
He did the
Suck
yep.
it?
Yep, he
Yeah.
did the two. He
Oh,
did a
that's
lot
awesome.
really fast too.
And he did
That
the
means
hump.
He should
He
like
did the hump.
automatically
He did-
win. They don't even need the next episode.
Yeah.
No,
really
dude's
don't.
going straight to the finale.
Yeah.
Here's
He did
no
that,
other
and then he
pod-
super kicked Gabri in the face, knocked his head
strike
straight
up
off.
the band.
Yeah.
All right. This is a Podchef exclusive because you're not going to fucking get this shit on Pack Your Knives. We are now going to tell you which of the finale 4 is who in the DX.
All right.
And this is the only shit you'll get here on Podchef. Now, here's what I'm suggesting.
And the DX for some of our longtime listeners is Generation X.
D-Generation X. Oh, fuck. I was trying to think of the words. Like, what are the words of the song that's like...
Generation X.
well, there's like... It like whispers lines at first. It's like, are you ready?
I'm waiting. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
So,
So Gabri is he's X-Pac.
Yes.
Buddha is
Triple H.
Road Dogg, and
Road Dogg.
Sarah is Bastion Booger. So we got that.
you got
That's
to do
knocked
Ali.
out. Oh yeah, well Ali's been eliminated. Yeah, he is John
Damn.
Laurinaitis, I think.
He got eliminated from winning the first part.
Oh no, we just spoiled it for.
Yeah, I'm like, yo. He went from like being up here to like, oh, now he's gone already, and Gabri's still there. Come on, man.
Yeah. So
Hey,
everything had to
spoiler
be about
alert.
the mushroom,
Like the downside of affirmative action.
the champion, which is great for women.
So for Ali's
Ali's
dish, he did like a mushroom that was like a steak, and then he did a croquette too, right? That had like a pomegranate in it, and that's what
Yeah.
he didn't like. It was like the texture wasn't good.
Yeah.
Sarah did a soup, which was very great, but
Which
like the whole story
crushed.
was about how she was like, "Am I not doing enough?" But she did do enough, and it was very delicious. Yeah, Buddha typical had good technique, and Gabri
more fucking
did spicy
molds. More fucking molds.
Yep.
Oh.
But they worked. Gabri's dish, while it was unfinished, the judges did love the flavor.
She said it was a blessing in disguise that he left off like 3 things. And he also
Mhm.
said that it was a lot.
Tom took all the compliments the judges were giving to the chefs, and he was like, "Yeah, they're my kids.
He's
my
very
babies.
proud. Very proud dad.
They're my good kids."
Proud Papa.
So
you
they
know-
go to judges' table on top of the boat. I also want to say, when I was in France, I did one of these dinner boats. They do it at night, where you take the dinner boat past the Eiffel Tower, and you get to see it light up. It's pretty cool.
How come no one went to the Arc de Triomphe? I didn't see that once. Did I
I think
see
they
that?
showed
It was-
it,
it was
in
in
like
the
a
episode,
clip,
yeah. It was
but
in
they
the
didn't go
episode.
to it.
They didn't go to it.
There's a few of those in the city though. They're fine.
Why weren't they cooking in the catacombs? That's what I want to see. Cook with bones all around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, use them to get some flavor in the broth. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
please. Make a
Yes.
bone broth.
Bone marrow.
Probably
Tom
too long
says-
of a line to get in to the catacombs.
I bet it's so long.
Catacombs owes me and my wife $38 because we paid and then they wouldn't let us in because they were on strike. Actually,
Who
they
was
weren't
on
even
strike?
They weren't even on strike. They were in solidarity with the people that were on strike, and so it's just like,
Ugh.
it's like,
Most
man, I wish
French
I could
thing I've
Well,
ever
give me
heard.
my money back.
do
then.
my job like that.
French loves to fucking strike.
Give me a flashlight. Let me go down by myself.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
need
for
you
real.
to
I don't
show
even
me.
need them. Just open the door.
Yeah.
I'll,
I'm an adult
Take the-
man. I can figure my way around a tomb.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's
just a
this?
bunch
A
of skulls.
bone? Yeah. What's
Pulls it
this
out,
one?
the-
Is that
the
a
whole
bone
building
too?
Comes down.
Where are the bones? Is it that one? I fucking know
All right.
what the bone is.
Judges' table.
It's
on
the white
boat.
thing on the wall. Big scary skeleton head. Scream at me.
Brian, we're at an hour 5. So we're at judges' table.
We did
on the
45
boat.
last week. We could do hour 15 this week. Even out.
Judges' tables on a boat. Sarah wins. Sarah wins with
Mhm.
her dish.
I want to say that
Last-
Tom said, "You guys know me." He said something like, "I tell you when I like something. I tell you when I don't like something."
Yeah.
And this I liked. It was the most anticlimactic. Like
yeah.
he's like, "I'm a straight shooter. I'll tell you when I like something and when I don't like something." And this I liked.
Well, he was quoting his Twitter page.
Mm-hmm.
he was just reading from it directly from his phone.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, "I'll tell you when I like something and don't like something." Okay, send.
And he's like, how do I like this?
Yeah.
With the heart. Padma, you didn't retweet this one. Why didn't you retweet this?
Sarah's in the
She
final.
was like, I'm leaving the show.
Sarah's in the final.
Sarah wins,
Buddha's also going to the final.
of course.
Runner up. We knew it.
I think they just gave. I think they just be like, we can't say Buddha won.
Yeah, no,
He's
we
been
can't do it
winning too much
again.
lately.
But
And
it's
Buddha
just-
also
it's
called out
just
this
those
episode.
too, right? It's like there's not going to be a final with Gabri still.
No, there
So-
is because Gabri made it to the finals and Ali was eliminated.
That's ridiculous. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have
Sort
to
of
call
is.
Tom after this and have a few choice words with him because I don't know what's going on
You
here.
should.
So
Can you do me a favor when
Yeah.
you call Tom? Can you
Yeah.
make sure that the choice words are USGA choice?
Yeah, I will work that
Thank
in.
you.
70-30.
After this, I do have a couple of things I like to discuss with you guys. So, but that's just for
Great,
the
good.
end.
All right.
So part of the reason that Ali, so the debate was like Ali's dish featured the mushroom better, but wasn't as
Mhm.
tasty as Cabri's. So it was interesting that because I thought the way that they were editing it, that's the way that they were going to go with it. But then they went with Cabri, which was nice. I'm also very excited for this finale. I think they've done good storytelling because I get everyone's narrative. Cabri's the underdog. Sarah's the person who has never won, even though she's made the final.
She's
And
back again.
Buddha is trying to be fucking goated and win back-to-back seasons.
With
Which
the
no one's
sauce.
done.
I get it too. I like Gabri's story. Like, it's really great story coming from a really bad, he said, raggedy hood
Mhm.
in Mexico, washing dishes, now doing well in Top Chef. All Stars won his season. It's a great story. Ali's story is fine, I guess. Don't need it. Could have had a double Shantae where they both stay, all four go to the finals. I'd have been fine with that too.
Mhm.
Um,
The thing with Gabri that I like is he is authentic. And I feel like in the landscape of reality TV, there's a lot of like forced narratives or like forced sob stories, which is like, I get it. I understand why you build narrative around that, but it feels contrived. And like everything that he does not feel fake to me. It feels like he really is that person. He really like cries when things are brought up and he talks about his past. Like it doesn't feel fake to me.
Can I jump in?
Sure.
Is this real story chef or is this Top Chef?
wow.
When it comes down to cooking these
Damn.
plates, I feel like my man Gabri could have gone home 4 to 5 episodes ago.
Which I agree with, and he's on my
Yeah, he
team.
could have.
Like I enjoy his story, but in terms of like the best chefs on the show, he is not one of the best chefs that should be in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd take a
That's true.
Tom over.
Now,
Gabri
I
in
would
the
eat at his
finals.
restaurant, and I would say that I had reservations for 2 if I walked in and there was no one in there. But for the final, I don't need him in, whatever panic dish he's going to bring to the table.
I agree. I think it adds an element of like unpredictability to it, which I like.
That's true.
There
I
is
also-
potential that he could just eat it, like that
Yeah.
Bake Show season, whatever it was, like 2 or 3 seasons ago, where that woman was there and shouldn't have been there, and she like really ate it in the final, and it was like sad. Like I don't want that to be it, but I feel like there's potential he could be really good, but he probably won't win, right? It's gonna be.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like
definitely
actually
not.
it's gonna be Sarah.
I think it
But
might be Sarah.
Sarah or Buddha. The narrative
it's
of
gonna be
Sarah has
Buddha.
been really heavy, so I feel
So
like
I think,
you think it's been Buddha.
yeah, I think Sarah's gonna have to really get past break the mold, as it were, to beat Buddha.
Wow.
Mm.
Speaking of Gabri's, oh god, I should have hit the cough button. Gabri's food, feeling rushed and panicked. I've been watching Chow House. If you guys watch that show, it's on Food Network. It's one of those shows that's like it doesn't know what it has. Like it's fumbling what it has, which is like
The bag.
8 people. It's totally fumbling the bag. It's got 8 people in this beautiful Tuscan house. They're having like familias. They join teams and cook and they eliminate each other, but it's like not done with any like true like reality TV like gravitas. There's like, oh yeah, he did the worst, he goes home, not like conspiring and stuff like that. But the host of that show said that one woman's meal tasted like a panic attack. And I thought that was a really fun way to describe a meal. And I feel like Gabri's food probably tastes like a panic attack.
Yeah, I like that.
All that to say, check out Chow House and we come back in second season and be better. Because it could be better. It
I mean,
says
First
it
seasons
says
are always tough,
yeah, it just needs to find what it needs to like know what it has, because it says like you are the capo of this familia. You're the team gets this capo. It's very funny.
Is it chefs or is it just regular ass people?
It's chefs, but they're
okay.
they're not they're no one famous. They're like pretty good chefs.
Like no Buddhas, but they're decent.
Right. Yeah.
All
Not
right.
bad. Is that the episode?
Actually, before we go,
You want to play Ali's elimination?
oh yeah,
Sure.
A lot of lead up. Sorry.
Ali, please pack your knives and go.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Congratulations, well done.
It's a bit hard. I'm sad, disappointed, but you need to embrace the win, you need to embrace the loss, and you take from there.
Absolute honor.
It's just an absolute pleasure. I get so much for that.
So much. Thank you.
Chef, lovely meeting you. It's an honor.
This is a true lesson in life. Sometimes you might find rejection, but if you're persistent enough, you can make it, even though you are facing all of these obstacles.
What a life lesson he leads us with. Reeves, where is he now?
Ali, he has a restaurant called Ali that is a Middle Eastern cuisine restaurant that was ranked 41st best in the restaurant ranking systems. And
Wow.
that's all I have to say about him. He seems like he's doing well.
And he's a young guy, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's like 25.
Yes, he also has links to like juice drinks in his Instagram, but I couldn't figure out why. if he was making them or if he just liked them a lot or if he was funding them. So I don't know.
Juiced up. He's juiced up.
baby.
he's
Yeah, it's
talking
all
to a
working
girl
out.
in the marketing department of the juice company. You know. But yes, before we leave, I would like to interject at you know, you guys often have a guy named Charlie on here, and he has often pushed for me to suggest a Jeff's idea corner for when I come on here, because I enjoy this podcast a lot, even when I'm not a guest, and I have a lot of ideas that I think could really take you guys to the next level. I'm talking like I've already got a plane, so like, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
And what do you guys have to lose? But you know, why don't we go ahead and just get all this money together? So
Yeah.
I love it.
my first idea is, in terms of like getting more guests, why don't you guys just kind of name drop different chefs each episode and sort of kind of like, you know, bully them, you know, on the podcast a little bit to get them to come on. That's my whole plot for this week, because, you know, I'm trying to help you guys get Gabri on the show. So I figured if I just come on here and like, you know, bully him into coming on,
Crap.
that'll be a great interview for you guys.
I'm going to reach out to Gabri now.
Yeah, and the second you
I
send
don't
him
want to
this
say that
specific
first one was a
episode.
bad idea. But I
Don't.
will say that
Just
we
don't say
have been doing that with Spike, and it has worked out really not well at all for us.
Well, the good thing about that is we can just go see him because he's right over in Capitol Hill. Like, I'll just go to his restaurant and say, "Hey,
And I keep telling
coward,
him
get on the show." Like,
Well, that's
get
right.
it-
We want
I have
him
a
for
car. Like,
Awesome
you just
Con.
get in. We
Yeah,
can go
can
now.
you do that for? Can you go pick him up for Awesome Con and bring
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, I'll be like, bro, we got to go to the convention center. Like, just get in this Uber with me real quick.
Yeah.
And then the second idea is, you know, I think you guys should definitely start to think about merch. You know, I think that one thing that always comes up is chefs I've prepared for you T-shirts, but the hidden gem that I think you guys really need to do is collaborate with Tom and make a limited run of silver Tom Colicchio do-rags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I like that.
I mean, I
Again.
don't want to say it's a bad idea again.
And you can get like
But-
wet printed on them. Like
Yeah.
all over
yeah.
print, just
Like his
wet for his
jumper.
like catchphrase, you know?
Yeah.
And for when
Yeah.
your listeners are playing basketball or cooking, that's what they can wear to, you know, keep the
Or-
hair out of their eyes.
Or when I want to look gangster in my house by myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
For
feel
your
like we're
various lady
opening the
callers.
door. Because, you know, Tom sent us those mock-ups he did of us, and we were all looked like Black Bart Simpson. And it was, he wanted to put that on T-shirts, and I'm
This
just
is
like,
weird.
I don't want to do that.
It
I mean,
was
if you,
weird.
if you hate money, then yeah, don't do any of these things, you know?
That's
I
true.
haven't.
I'm trying to get this money.
I want to say something because Reeves brought up the Black Bart Simpson thing that Tom did the mock-up of us. I thought it was shocking that Reeves and Brian were dark-skinned and I was light-skinned in that mock-up.
You were
I thought that
yellow.
was Yeah, I
Typical
thought that was an
Simpsons.
interesting choice by Tom.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tom is, Tom and his colorism. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And
He
now that's
said
out there.
he said that it's what he sees us as in his mind. That's
I'm
what he said
still
to me.
light skinned in his mind, and you guys are darker. And I don't want to say it bothers me, but it bothered me.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I also didn't like that I was mocked up like you both were dunking basketballs at the same time over me.
Yeah, you were really getting a bunch of crotch in your face.
Yeah, it was just two crotches in my face, and the zippers were down. I was like, Tom, what is this mock up? This is way too graphic for just a random mock up. It's also not a mock up. This is a full painting. It's an oil pastel.
It was the whole thing.
And he
Yeah.
kept saying that it was like, well, I got these Simpsons ideas from a website.
it's like Simpsons basketball hentai.org.
Something like that. Yeah. Because it's like
the fingers were all
faces
messed
and the
up, so I think
crotch.
AI did it.
Yeah. Anyway, are there other ideas? I know I said I hated both of them, but we could do them maybe.
I've got plenty, but I'm going to save them for the next time I come on. So I've got a ton. So, I mean, if we, you want to just disregard like the $6 million I just dumped in your lap, that's cool.
Well, you also gave us
There'll
the
be
idea
more.
to.
Bro, I burned it. Freaking Joker style.
Hold on. Jeff also gave us the idea to. He also gives the idea to ask the Top Chef contestants when they come on what their favorite song is to cook to, and I never asked them. So it's another $6 million down the drain. Could have had.
I also do have a serious question for next time you guys interview another Top Chef contestant. Like the small talk that they make while they're cooking, like I want to know how much of that is like a producer, like, hey man, like you gotta fill this time.
Yeah.
Versus them, like, because like when I'm cooking, I don't just ask
wanna
someone
talk.
like, hey man, what are you doing? I'm like
Yeah,
focused on trying to measure shit. So I want to know like how much of that is real and how much of it is,
Feels like
hey
it's
man,
all
ham it up
forced.
for the cameras,
Yeah,
It feels like it's all forced.
that's true. I like those questions.
Before we get out of here, let's do the fantasy standings. Right now, your boy is still in the lead with 95 points. Reeves is out of the competition with 46 points. He has no one else in the show. And Brian has two people in the finals, and I only have Gabri left in the finals. Wow. But if Gabri even does anything in the finals, or
he
even.
won't.
So here's the thing, Brian, you could win.
Damn, dude.
How many points do I have?
85.5, and I got 95. If you get someone who wins Top Chef and wins the quickfire, you still won't win.
That shouldn't happen.
Yeah. So actually, I lied. You won't win.
Points should reset, and it should just be 0-0 in the final.
There should be something weighted more for winning overall, right? You get more
It's
points for
5
that.
points. It's 5 points.
That's
so
not
you get
nearly
5
enough.
points for reaching the finals, which Brian got 16 points from two people this week, and it still was not enough to overcome the massive gap of my team.
So what's the potential like final outcome? Like let's say Buddha wins and Gabri
So then
falls
it'll
down
be-
a well. So like what would that put Brian at score wise?
If Buddha wins, he gets 5 points plus getting to judges table. If there's a quick fire and he wins that, 7 points total up for grabs. So even at 7 points, he can only get 92.5 points. He's
That's
still 3 points
insane that
behind.
you only get 5 points
I
for
feel like
winning
you should get
the
10
whole
points
show.
for winning the whole show.
The only way he wins is if Sarah and Buddha are named co-winners of the show.
That would be
I don't
so
know.
bad.
I feel like this is
Yeah.
this has been rigged.
I think
Rigged
we brought
against
that up
Brian.
another season that we thought it was rigged.
Yeah, the other season that I won was also discussed that it was rigged.
I think this might be why Padma left the show.
Every
to be
time-
honest.
Every time Jamal's leaving, we question the point system.
Yeah, no one questioned it last season because I was losing.
Yeah.
No, it was
That
all
being
it was a
said-
fair election that time.
Yeah.
Jamal's just getting people back for a lot of other rigged games for
Yeah.
centuries.
This thing called life.
I just have to take a step back and take the L.
Well, I'm also you took a magnanimous step back. I'm also doing the work to try and address my stuff when it comes to your people. I
Yes.
shouldn't be
Thank you.
taking that out on you and making
Thank
you
you.
feel guilty. Like
Mhm.
that's some stuff I got to work on.
I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, that's the episode. Jeff, you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Nah.
It works. Keep it going.
All right, I guess we're gonna pack our knives and go.
This was fun. Absolutely. This is great, guys. You guys got something here. This is fun.
Suck it.